Welcome, everybody. Baby background and all. So welcome to what is our final live stream event of the expo. We do have technically one more tomorrow night, but that's just our wrap-up party. So this is the end of all of the good information that we've been giving you over the last week. We thank everybody for joining us over the last week. And we're going to run over a few housekeeping things before we get started with our speaker today. Oh, okay, perfect. So first, go to our website, loveyourbirth.org. That's where you can see all of our vendors. So normally with an expo, you get to interact and talk to people, but you can't do that when we're all virtual. So look for their websites and their social media, interact with them there, ask questions, especially if you are an expecting family, then we've got lots of resources for you there. So check that out. If you do not have a swag bag ticket, you have a few more hours to get that. I think we end at 12 o'clock tomorrow is when those sales will stop, and we have maybe 5 left. So if you want a swag bag on Saturday, then sign up on Eventbrite is where you'll find that, and Rachel can drop the link to our Eventbrite in the comments there. The goal for this expo this year is to raise funds for doula training. So typically we help families fund their doula at their birth, but because doulas are not working quite as much in the hospital as they have been in the past, we're helping to fund doula training so that when we are able to have our doulas back in the hospital, we have a more broad and diverse pool of doulas for families to choose from. So if you come from an underrepresented group, Black, Indigenous, person of color, LGBTQ, anybody who is underrepresented by the birth community and you would like to become part of the birth community, then please apply for one of our scholarships. That's at loveyourbirth.org/scholarship. If you would like to help fund one of those scholarships, you can make a donation to us on our Facebook page or on our website, again, loveyourbirth.org. You can also make us your Amazon Smile charity. We have a post on Facebook and Instagram on how you can set us as your charity in your app. You can also go to smile.amazon.com and then select us as your charity. And it is Prime Day, y'all. Today and tomorrow, Christmas shopping. It's today.
I didn't realize it started today.
It starts today. So there's also some Target sales going on too. I'm not going to talk about that because we can't get money from Target. But Amazon, before you do all your Prime shopping, even if it's not us, I mean, I really want you to pick us. But if it's not us, then pick your charity. Amazon makes a ton of money. They can give some back to charity. Oh, hi. A little friend here. No, there she goes. So set us as your Amazon Smile charity, or set somebody before you do all of that shopping for Prime Day today and tomorrow. The last thing that you can do to help us raise money is to buy a t-shirt from our bonfire shop, and that's another link that Rachel gets to drop into the comments. But you can shop at our bonfire shop and get a fun birthday shirt, especially for our birth workers. Oh, that's exciting. Especially for our birth workers. If you order from our bonfire shop, you're going to be entered to win a copy of Down the Canal, which is a childbirth education kind of icebreaker game. So it's a fun, cute game to have, and you might get a free copy if you order a shirt online. All right, so Annie's not back yet. Oh, is she coming back? And we might swap really quickly because she said, I need to go potty. Oh, never a dull moment around here. So you're going to tell them how they can win some prizes.
Oh, okay, great.
And the fact that we have our platinum vendor. So swap. This is live. It's fine.
It's fine. It's fine.
Toddlers gotta go when they gotta go. Like,
it's true. So prizes. Today, you can type right now into the comments if you would like to win for Target or the travel system, and that's an extra entry for you. Also, you can, if you're watching this later, don't forget to fill out the Google form in the comments. Again, Target or travel system. And we have spot prizes today as well. So you're gonna just keep watching and listen out for that. And also for the Google form, you need the keyword. So that's going to be said sometime throughout this conversation with Dr. Shelly today. And what's our spot prize, Rachel?
a new patient appointment with
that's
yeah,
so
with Dr. Shelly.
With Dr. Shelly.
Sorry, I was also trying to respond to a comment on Facebook when you asked me that, so I was pulling my brain 2 different ways.
And good thing we're live because Kristen's phone that had all the notes on it has a password on it. So
Oh, good. That's good. We're doing great today.
we're doing great. Your phone has a password on it.
Oh, great.
So I was like, what else is I supposed to say?
I didn't. Sorry, everybody. Nothing like a 3-year-old that needs to go potty right now. All right. So what did we talk about?
I talked about
Prizes. Okay.
and the newborn
The
or
new
the
patient.
new patient.
Okay. So we're listening for a keyword.
Yes.
We're paying attention for a spot prize.
Yes.
So yeah, that's basically it. We're about to get started. This is one of our platinum vendors. So we're super excited and thankful for that. So our platinum vendors are vendors that have made a significant contribution to us financially. They're a big reason that we're able to do these doula training scholarships. So we're very appreciative to them and all of that they have done for us. We do have to give our official legal disclaimer though, because we are a nonprofit organization. So participation in the expo by a business does not represent endorsement from the Love Your Birth organization. We encourage consumers to do their own due diligence and to choose providers that fit their family's needs and values. So with that, I would like to introduce to you Dr. Shelly Jones, who is a chiropractor in the Forest Acres area. She's been around for a number of years. She has 2 children. They're all grown and amazing. And you have won numerous awards, right? I mean, I feel like you're like best of state, best of Columbia all the time. So start by telling us about Chiropractic Wellness Center, which is your practice out there.
Well, thank you. You're much, much sweeter and nicer than reality. I've had a couple of little things, but not anything big like state and all that kind of thing. We're
like I've seen some
a little world right over here. We love being in our own little spot. But I've been in practice 30 some years. I started way back in the 70s, which makes me sound like I'm ancient, which I kind of am. But I've been around for a long time and I've done a lot of things. We've been in this location and in Forest Acres for about 20 years or so. And you're right, I do have 2 children. I have a 25-year-old daughter and a 29-year-old son. And I had a home birth to begin that turned into a C-section. And then I had a VBAC with the second one. So I've had a little bit of everything with all of that.
Yeah. And then you've been so supportive of us and birthing in general. I mean, I know I've been working with you for at least 5 years, if not a little bit longer, since I've been doing ICANN and some other advocacy things. So you've always been a really big proponent and supporter of birth rights, and we really appreciate that.
And doulas.
Yeah.
Which as a doula, we are so appreciative of that.
Well, thank you. And I love doing it. You all amaze me at what you do. You know, I can pretty much come to work and know I'm going to go to work at this time. I'm going to leave at this time. Yours is exactly the opposite. You kind of go when you're going back home or anything else. I don't know how you do all of that stuff. But wonderful. Moms and dads need that support so much when they're going through the birth process. So you all are great.
Oh,
Yeah.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about what things look like right now in your office. I know COVID has changed a lot of things for a lot of people. So how has that impacted you?
Well, it's been very great that we could have been able to stay open. We're essential workers and providers, so we've been open the entire time. We certainly have cleaned and sanitized and done things above our normal daily kind of and things like that. We wear shields in the office, the clear shields, and we have masks that sometimes we'll wear those, but we're always covered per the recommendations. And we have monitored appointments, schedules, and we kind of keep track of those so we don't have too many in the office at one time. Some patients will prefer to sit out in the car and we'll text them in or call them in so they aren't sitting around here for a longer period of time. But we really work at not having a long wait. We just very hard to never do that. Nobody wants to sit around and wait in somebody's office, unless you want to try to get away from people, and then you can hang out here as long as you want. But we try to do that, so we're very good about that sort of thing. And we're washing our hands between visits, and sanitizing the tables and doing all of those kind of things. So the typical normal kind of things.
Yeah. Excellent.
And the thing that I will say too, the biggest thing we've been saying, or what we've been saying for 30 some years, is about take care of yourself, boost your system. It's our immune system that determines what's going to happen when we're exposed to things, because we're exposed to things all the time. This is nothing new. This is how it all works. So we're each responsible for our own immune system, our own response. It's why we talk about wellness care with chiropractic, nutrition, and all of those things. The more of that we do, the stronger we are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, we're gonna get a lot of that. We got a lot yesterday. We had Jennifer O'Brien on talking about midwifery care, and she gave us a very thorough lecture about nutrition.
Good.
Yeah, it was good. So you came to talk to us a little bit about adjustments during pregnancy and during and for newborns. So let's start with our pregnant people, and what can they expect in an adjustment? What does that look like? Who should get adjusted? Why should they get adjusted? I know you have a special training that's specific for pregnancy. If you want to talk a little bit about that.
Yeah. Definitely. We take care of patients from every age and every stage. You know, from pregnancy and newborn, I have patients who come to us who have been who are in wheelchairs or on walkers, or we've gone to nursing homes and seen patients. So we have everybody at every age and stage. The way you take care of them differs. The purpose of what you're doing is the same, because we're always trying to restore function to the spinal joints and keep that healthy, for the purpose of stimulating the nervous system and regulating the function of the nervous system, because that's how our body heals and works the best. So that's our overall goal. The way we do it for a newborn or for a pregnant mom or for somebody who's much older and maybe has osteoporosis or an injury is totally different than how we take care of somebody who doesn't fit one of those categories. In chiropractic, there are a lot of different techniques and ways to adjust the spine. You'll hear people say they get their neck cracked or their back popped, and it's called an adjustment. So we talk about adjusting the spine, but there are many ways to do that. So when you visit different offices, or maybe you've come from another state or somewhere where you saw a chiropractor, you'll notice that there's a difference in the technique that they use. And so in pregnancy, there's a specific technique called the Webster technique. It was developed by Dr. Larry Webster. And when I was in chiropractic school way back when, he was the clinic supervisor. When I was an intern, he was my supervisor. So
That's
I was
cool.
Yes.
before he was Dr. Webster, you know. It was, but
My
so
cat would be freaking out. Sorry, that's so cool.
takes a million pictures. I do not have a picture. I can't believe of course we didn't take that many pictures way back
I
then.
believe you.
Not like
It's,
today. Yeah, exactly.
I'm like
I was
fangirling.
Webster. And now there's the International Chiropractic Pediatric Association. And you can go through their training and you become certified in that particular technique. So it's always best that during pregnancy that you would go to a chiropractor who has that Webster certification. And we are so fortunate in Columbia because we have, I don't know the exact number right off the top of my head, but we have several chiropractors in this area who are all Webster certified. And by divine design, we're all at different stages and areas around town. So you can fit find any one of us around the area, because there's a around town. So so that suits everybody where they may be traveling from or where they live. But the difference with that technique is that it's very gentle and it's very easy. And the purpose is to balance the ligament and the bony structures of the pelvis to reduce the constraint around the uterine ligaments and around the joints of the spine. Unless a woman has had trauma, physical trauma, pregnancy is usually the most stressful thing that will happen to her pelvis and to her spine. As we all know who've been through it, it's a big deal. It's a big change. And as much as your tummy changes, your spine changes that much too, because your spine has to adapt to the change in weight and weight distribution. So there's a lot of stress that can occur. And for women, it oftentimes will cause older injuries to kind of rear their ugly heads. Something may have been dormant, but then it starts to show itself once you start to gain some weight or once the baby changes position and that sort of thing. So getting adjustments is very gentle, very easy, and usually very, very responsive. So you feel much better and you get supported. I have a mom who came in this morning. She had a surprise third pregnancy. So she's planning to have the third one. You know what it's like when you give away all your stuff?
Been there.
Yeah. So she's that. And she said that she was having a little bit of issue And she remembered, and her mom reminded her that the difference from her first pregnancy, where she had no chiropractic care, to her second, where she had chiropractic care throughout the process, was hugely different. And the birthing process was so much easier. So she came right back in and got started under care as soon as she, started feeling that and remembering that that's what she needs to do.
And that's something you recommend from like first trimester, early pregnancy on?
Absolutely. Yes, very much so. And because the care will change as you progress through the pregnancy, and it's really difficult to be under the gun where moms come in 38, 39 weeks and say, we got to do this, we've got to breech birth or that, and different things. And we certainly still work and do as much as we can, but there's not a magic number that you can come in this many times or this. It's all about the whole process. And sometimes the response is very quick, but sometimes it takes longer too. And what we do in the first trimester is different than what we do, right before birth.
Yeah.
Sort of thing. And there are pillows that we have where the tummy's cut out.
Okay.
You'll love it because you get to lay in those pillows when you lay on your tummy. So that's worth it right there because you get to lay on your tummy for a change.
For 5 minutes, yeah.
So those pillows fit the growing tummy, and it's all driven. There is nothing about getting chiropractic care that should be uncomfortable, whether you're pregnant or whether you're not. So if something's uncomfortable or painful or that sort of thing, you should always let your chiropractor know. There's probably something they can do to change or to tweak things to make it a lot more comfortable too.
Okay. Good. And then what about newborns? Tell me a little bit. I know I'm so excited for this because there's a lot of information as a lactation counselor.
Yes.
Hat. I deal with a lot of families and I'm referring babies to chiropractic care all the time because the babies that I see that are having trouble, and a lot of parents have some concern about like what does that look like in a newborn. And so I know you have a little doll there so that you can show us what an adjustment actually looks like on a newborn, because there are some terrifying videos out there that are not accurate.
Yeah, those videos are not accurate at all, not at all. And it could not be further from the truth. First of all, I would definitely find a chiropractor who's certified in Webster Technique or has some kind of certification, or at least a member of the ICPA, the International Chiropractic Pediatric Association. We are taught in school about adjusting children, but the ICPA takes that much further, and you learn a lot of detail and a lot of information about that. So we always recommend to parents that have the baby checked just as quickly as possible. We, of course, I had the home court advantage. We could check our babies right away. Yeah. So that made all the difference in the world. But we tell moms if they're having a home birth, we can go to them if they need, or if they are having a hospital birth, then they can come by on their way home if they feel comfortable. If not, we can go to their house too and see the baby. And what I've learned to say over the years, I always tell parents, you'll come in thinking that we're going to do something that probably will hurt the baby, and almost every time when you leave after having seen their first adjustment, you'll leave and say, I'm not sure she did anything. It just didn't look like she did much, because it's so different than what we think. So think about a baby's spine, how little it is compared to an adult spine and what it's like. Their bones are super little and they're very soft like cartilage. It's not like adults who have hard bones. So we don't have to use force and twisting and popping and that sort of thing. That's not the necessary, and it's never needed for babies and especially for newborns. So when we check a baby, oftentimes we'll have them up over our shoulder, or mom or dad can hold them and we can check their spine while they're sitting just like this. And you can use your pinkies and you just kind of walk right up the spine to feel if everything's moving, and gentle and easy. The most important thing is to check that upper neck for the baby. Think about the position that they've been in, and whether it's a vaginal birth or a C-section birth. And trust me, a C-section birth is not more gentle. We have that misconception that it is. It's exactly the opposite. But what happens as soon as that baby's head emerges, they typically will do this around the head and neck and turn and pull. So it's a lot of force and a lot of pressure. So we adjust that upper neck or check that, and it's pressure. It's just a lot.
Feeding a lot. Like, I'm gonna throw that out there totally unsolicited, but that neck really can impact feeding. If we've got a kink in the neck or something that doesn't turn the right way, then all of a sudden if we have a baby that especially does really well on one side and not so well on the other side, that's when I'm like, you need to go see a chiropractor.
Yeah, that's a not sleeping, not going to the bathroom, crying when you hold him on one side, not or hold him on one side versus the other. Only let mom console them. That's another thing, because moms just instinctually hold them a certain way, whether they know it or they don't. Nursing on one side, not nursing on the other side, popping off, arching is a really important one too. So when we check that area and release that pressure, nearly every baby will respond right away. We always tell parents they're going to sleep really hard night and they're going to have a big blowout diaper. Those two things are worth it. Everybody loves it. But it's very gentle, very easy. Most infants or babies need a few adjustments. Sometimes they just need one or two, depending on how old they are and how long the process has been going on and the issue. They may need more adjustments, but we assess the babies when they come in and we figure out where they are, and then we'll make recommendations for how many visits we think they're going to need or kind of what plan. Most of them just need a couple to get going, and then they come in on a once a month or once a milestone or every few weeks basis. Or if something happens, sometimes babies topple off beds or have a high chair like mine did.
We get attacked by an older sibling, or you never know what could happen.
Trip and fall.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Plus, I will say one thing I've learned through the years is we start to see issues develop around the 3-week mark. And what I believe is happening is that, by the time they've gotten home, everybody's been picking up that baby. So lots of different people holding the baby, siblings bending down, kind of putting their hands on their chest to run down and touch the baby or kiss the baby. So that baby's kind of been jostled a little bit. So the birth is one thing, but about that 3 to 4 week mark, we usually need to get them checked again and see that too.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to throw out our keyword right here because I have heard Dr. Shelly say it a number of times, and that is gentle. So your keyword for this live today is gentle. Find that comment in our Facebook post there with this video, and you can drop that into the Google form to enter to win either a $200 Target gift card or a travel system. If you have not commented Target or travel, you can get a bonus entry right now while we're live. This is our last major event for the expo. You can go back if you're just joining us. You can go back. We started last week Thursday with our kickoff, so you can find our other videos, find the other keywords, get yourself some more entries, because you can buy a lot of things at Target for $200. That's going to do a nice dent into your Christmas shopping. So, but put a little plug in there for that. Shelly, anything else you want to show us on that baby? I mean, I know you kind of, same thing, you kind of touched her, but didn't look like you did a whole lot. That's a full adjustment right there.
That's exactly how it is. You hold the baby here. It totally depends on baby comfort. And sometimes sleeping and they're very docile. Sometimes they're agitated and arching and crying. So you really have to adapt to the baby. We have a pillow that they can lay in, but oftentimes we'll put the baby up here or we'll lay them this way over our arm, and we just feel right along the spine. It really is gentle. It's very easy. And so you're feeling along, and then when you need to make an adjustment, it's a little bit of a wiggle and a pressure, and you just know the area where it needs and what you need to do to help that relieve that pressure that's in that area. Same thing with the neck, is just light pressure and
a little
tension.
bit of wiggle. What about in the hip area? I know sometimes we get some hips that are off.
Yes, and the area, same thing. It depends on how we can hold the baby, either in our arms or moms or dads can hold them, but we'll lay them down tummy time on a little blanket that we have here, and you can raise the leg and the hip up, usually because they're so little. It depends on how old they are, of course, but you could raise that up with one hand, and it's light pressure that's right over that hip joint. And because their joints are so flexible and soft, it's very easy to make that adjustment. It's not like adults who've had it for 20 years and just decided to get something done today. It's a issue for most of them that they've had. So they're very soft, they're very easy. And babies should be very floppy. That's one thing we look for and we talk about. Babies should be floppy. If a baby is real rigid and real stiff and always fists clenched and things like that, that's really not how babies should be. They should be loosey-goosey. So that's another one of those cues that we look for and that we see with that. The other thing that we do in our office is that we do a consultation at no charge. It's a complimentary thing. So when parents are oftentimes looking or questioning or kind of at their wits' end, they've tried tried a lot of things. They don't know what's going on, especially with reflux issues and things like that. They just want to talk and get some information. We'll do a consultation. So they're not obligated. They're not spending a lot of money on the onset before they decide if they want to follow through or they don't. So we have that consultation to talk about the baby or adults too, and to go from there.
Yeah. And Rachel, how about now? Are we good?
I think so.
Okay, so since we're talking about becoming a new patient, why don't we give away your spot prize, which is a new patient gift certificate. So if somebody is wanting to try out chiropractic care, you can get a certificate. You can go over and see Dr. Shelly. You see how lovely she is. You know, you'll be in good hands over there in Forest Acres. So first person to comment with your favorite sport, because chiropractors also treat sports and athletic injuries. So you comment with your favorite sport, and then we will get you a gift certificate for a free new patient. You said an adjustment and the exam, but not the x-rays. So there's some things in that package. Oh, I think she froze. Oh no.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
no.
Shelly, where are
Oh
you?
no. I was gonna also ask her if that, so that would apply to the babies too. So if somebody saw this and they wanted to bring their baby. Oh, I think she's trying to come back.
She's
Trying
trying.
to come back.
I think it would be, I mean, I don't want to speak for her, but I feel like a new patient is a new patient, whether
Am I
it's
back?
born or adult. Oh, I hear you, but I don't see you yet.
Brand new
Well, we
patient.
have a winner.
Oh, here I am.
There it goes.
You see me?
Our winner is Emily.
I see you.
She said, yeah.
Oh,
we
good.
see.
Who is our winner?
Emily. She says non-sports, and then she says ice skating, which to me is a sport.
That's a sport.
Oh, that's a sport.
I think ice skating is for sure a sport.
I mean,
So yay, Emily!
when I was younger, the Olympics. Oh yeah, I was
She's out there.
I was in the Tanya Harding, Nancy Kerrigan era. That's how old I am.
Some controversy, some drama.
I know. It was very exciting for my, I don't know,
Yeah.
preteen, teenage self, wherever I was at that point. Well, excellent. Congratulations, Emily. You are our winner. You get to go and get yourself an adjustment with Dr. Shelly. Shelly, tell us how families can reach you.
Our office is Chiropractic Wellness Center, Inc. We are on Facebook,
Yep.
so you can find us there. We're on 4th Drive across from Shandon Baptist Church.
Okay.
Everybody knows that big church that's at the end of 4th Drive.
Yep.
Our phone number is 803-771-9990.
And do you have a website too, right? Is it like Dr. Shelly?
Do. And guess what? Dr. Shelly Jones. Yeah. How easy is that?
So easy. Do you do appointments online or over the phone?
There are online and phone. You can call either way. Krista is our everything. She does everything in the office. She's the patient care coordinator. She'll book the appointments for you and set that up. But you can go through our website and request appointments, send an email, and she'll follow up and get that all set. So we're happy to do that for you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Any last information that you want to share with our viewers today and for all of posterity on YouTube and our website for archival purposes?
Well, I would say I was introduced to chiropractic in 1979, and it amazed me when I learned what it really was and the benefits of chiropractic. And it's been my method of true health care for all these years. I still get adjusted every week, not because I have a stiff neck or a bad back, but because it takes care of my nervous system and keeps me well. So I encourage everyone to get chiropractic care and to get involved with that because it makes a huge difference for you and your family. And there are lots of good chiropractors around town. If we're not close to you, you've got somebody in your neighborhood, or I can help you find somebody.
See, look how amazing she is. She'll help you find someone, even if it's not her. Your lactation consultants, your doulas, a lot of your birth workers, they are also going to be really familiar with the chiropractors in your area.
Yes.
So if that's something that interests you, definitely reach out. We've got lots of resources all over the city and the region. There's a couple traveling chiropractors if you're out in different places. So yeah, definitely reach out to us. Well, thank you, Shelly, for being with us today. Thank you, everybody. Do we have what?
No, I was wondering if we had any questions.
Oh, do we have any questions? Last second. Any questions from our Facebook?
We can throw them if we get any, because it's a little delayed. So we'll see.
There's the delay there. Okay.
I was wondering how different is chiropractic care from when you started to now? Like,
Ooh.
has it been
Good
a big
question.
move?
You know, what's really funny, I am a pack rat with papers and pictures and all that kind of stuff. So I have kept copies of nearly everything I've done since those beginning days in the 70s. And I could pull out a newsletter from the 70s and send it out today, and you wouldn't notice much difference because the basic principles of health and wellness are exactly the same. We are still talking about the 5 keys of health. Well, the nervous system, nutrition, rest, exercise, and I can't think of the 5th one, but I'll think of it later. But it's the same. Take care of yourself.
Yeah.
It is the same care. There can be lots of new innovations and things that happen, but the basics of taking care of your spine is exactly the same. The body has not changed, just how we take care of it. We know about it.
How we
We
treat
do have a Facebook question. Oh, sorry, were you saying something?
I was wondering too, like, is it more popular? Would you say chiropractic care is more popular now?
I definitely think it's more popular now from what I can see. It's definitely something that's more discussed, things like this. You know, there are lots more people who are involved with natural holistic healthcare and approaches and taking care of themselves. We know a lot more about how to do those sorts of things. So it's the #1 leading form of healthcare without medication, surgery, all those kinds of things.
Yeah.
So I think it's more popular now for sure.
Yeah. I truly believe it is like, it's like changing the oil in your car, right?
Yeah, exactly.
You need to do that so that your car is going to function well. It's preventative.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. But see, it's so interesting because usually we're taught more about homes and cars, about how to maintain it.
Yeah.
And take care of it. We are about our bodies.
Yeah. That's true.
That's the whole of wellness, maintenance, care. Don't wait till you're sick or you're hurting. Take care of it before it gets there.
Preach.
Amen.
Oh, Facebook question. Emily was asking, what are the chances of turning a breech baby via chiropractic care?
Well, we don't do anything to actually turn the baby. Remember what we talked about, how we balance the function of the pelvis? We're taking off the torque or the tension that may be there where the ligaments attach, which causes the uterus to relax and the pelvis to stabilize. When you reduce that pressure, that in turn creates the condition, and then the baby turns all by itself. Because remember, our bodies are geared to be healthy. That's how we're made. So the babies have this innate ability to be in that optimal position. And when you remove the interference from a neuromusculoskeletal place, then that baby will turn and get right into that position. It happens very, very often. It's not 100% because that's not the goal necessarily. And sometimes it's a very natural protective reason why that baby's not in the head down position. So we have to do everything we know and trust the process because the baby's doing the best it can to protect itself in that environment.
Oh, beautiful.
So very likely.
All right. Last chance to enter Target or travel system if you want a chance to win. I think we are just about done here. You can always go back and use the Google form and get an entry if you are watching this not live, anytime after the next about 30 seconds probably. But thank you, Shelly, for being with us today. Thank you, Rachel, for all of your social media moderation. You've seen her down there typing away and handling all of that for us. So we really appreciate it. And anyone who wants to see if they've won that $200 gift card is going to join us tomorrow night at 7 when we again have our final live and we announce winners of all of our big prizes. So thank you. See you all then.
Thank you so much.
Shelly.
Bye. Thank you.
There we go.